Welcome to the Wodesman podcast, a show discussing all things camping, bushcraft, and outdoor adventure.
So hello guys, I just wanted to preface this episode with a little message directly from me. Tom and myself have both been extremely busy on different trips, myself with the Wild in Us Festival, which I primarily wanted to thank each and every one of you who listens for coming over and showing their support, and also a big thank you to Joe Price, Ida Olsen, Steve from Field and Steel, all for coming down and sharing such an incredible weekend. Meeting different people, discovering new skills, and just having a good time with the bushcraft community, and that's exactly what it's all about. And we will have some news about the announcement of next year's Wild in Us Festival, which hopefully Tom will be able to join on, and many of you people as well. We're going to be looking at a new location that can host more people, and it's going to be a really, really great event. So again, a massive thank you to each and every one of you who did come out. And of course, going on to Tom, Tom's been really busy. I'm not going to spoil too much, but he's been on a trip to America since we recorded this episode. So please do go out over onto his channel, Back Garden Bushcraft, have a little look at that, because it's absolutely amazing what he got up to. I was so jealous. This episode was recorded shortly after our last one, but because of everything that we've been doing, we just haven't had time to sit down and get these out. So this one's going to come out. It's only a short little episode for you guys to follow, but there's a really, really good episode coming out, which I'll try and get out in about a week or two. So I hope you enjoy this episode. I hope you've all been well, and I'll see you very, very soon.
Thank you, Tom.
You are very welcome. Cheers, my boy.
Cheers. So welcome guys to another episode of the Wodesman podcast.
Yep, I'm sitting here. I've got Liam here with a beer. Yeah. I got my pipe and I got a beer as well.
And you've got scratch legs as well,
I've got scratch legs. I've been brambled.
Yeah, bless you.
I had a disagreement with a bramble bush.
And we are again next to each other, aren't we?
We are.
At Badgells Wood.
We are. It's the following day, and we've got a huge rip roar of a fire going. We had a few winds today, didn't we? And
we did a few kind of dead trees. Decided to take a little
lean,
bit of a lean over our tarps and our hammock setups.
Yeah, so they were perfectly upright yesterday, and like they weren't a danger because we worked out that they'd get hung up in another tree if they did fall.
Yeah,
which is exactly what did happen, because they fell and got hung up in another tree, which was blocking our tarps from it. But we decided that it was probably about high time we dealt with them at that point.
Yes.
So we have a stack of dead standing sweet chestnut, which we have felled, bucked, and made safe. So we've made this course area just that little bit extra safe by taking a few danger trees down. So
yeah, definitely. And of course, with that being said, because we had to move our tarps to take that particular bit of timber down,
yeah,
so we decided actually we'd sleep by the fire.
Yeah, we were like, stuff it. I mean, we don't really need a tarp when we've got a parachute over our heads and we've got this lovely fire going. We've got loads of fuel. Why not just chuck a reindeer hide or a bedroll on the ground, sleeping bag, and just watch the fire?
It's going to be one of the most special nights, I think. Actually,
I think it will. Yeah.
I always remember those nights. I just like to kip by the fire, and I've got, like you said, the bedroll. I've got a Thornhill ultra heavy.
It's a lovely bit of kit.
Wax canvas and wool bedroll that I've been working on him with. I mean, it's a little design that I had, and he kind of fine-tuned it and said, this is what's going to work best. And what he's done is just incredible. You introduced me to his stuff, didn't you?
I did.
And
you haven't looked back.
It's such good quality.
Shout out to Thornhill Scott. He's a great guy, and we fully support him at the podcast. Just sheer quality, and the reason we support him isn't like because we've been bribed. We haven't. It's literally that we think he makes quality stuff.
Yeah.
And
we buy it. Stuff off
we buy it to support him, and we use our hard-earned money to get his gear, because it lasts. It's beautiful and it's perfectly handmade.
Yeah.
And he's doing it in a sustainable and sort of
And he's always up for
thoughtful
collabs,
way.
isn't
He is, yeah.
Like, you know, in the sense of, like, if you come up at him with a good idea, he'll just improve on it and work with you on it and come up with a good product that works.
Yeah. And like his designs are just bomb-proof.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to using that tonight. And you're, like you said, on the reindeer hide, aren't you?
I am. My old reindeer hide that's seen me through many nights will just be chucked on the ground tonight because I don't have a ground sheet because I was planning on hammocking it. But we've changed our plans because we thought it'd be more of an adventure. And instead of moving the tarp to deal with the tree and then put the tarp back, we do just like, you know what, let's just hobo it tonight and
I think it would be a good night.
You know, do proper cowboy camp by the proper cowboy camp by the fire. So
well, it's honestly been such a great day here by this very fire. It's been burning for what, over 24
hours, yeah.
It's a good long time, and I have to say, just to the listeners, I've been here partly to help and assist Tom run a course, in the sense of just be there to help if he needed any assistance on anything, a watchful eye if anyone's kind of holding the knife the wrong way.
Yeah, and your presence, dude, was a massive help to me. It made running the course so much more relaxing and more fun for me to have like my best mate there. I mean, who gets to run their sort of dream thing, which is, for me, running bushcraft courses is like my dream.
Absolutely.
And to be able to do that with my best mate there to help, it's just like, it was a proper special day for me.
Well, it's honestly an honour.
And yeah, you were a real help, like just giving your own expertise and advice and doing your own carving as well, so just injecting that energy into the carve.
It's kind of hard not to, you know, you're such a natural teacher, and I think the students, both today, Luke and Rick, really just enjoyed how intimate it was.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of, it was
well,
basically
one-on-one, really, wasn't it?
Really,
so.
yeah. And I enjoyed just seeing you in your element, you know, all your tools, your little chalkboard with all your displays on it. It was beautiful. Like, even the way you've set out this location is inviting to the students. So kind of a wholeheartedly warm experience for everything.
Yeah, I tried to think through the sort of curriculum of the day and how to fit in as much information in quite a short time.
Yeah, because that's
and
hard.
to make it accessible and also not to make them feel rushed, because there's nothing worse than if you do a course and you feel like you're being rushed through things. And
yeah, because people need different paces, don't they?
They do, and
things.
Like
you're quite lucky today. They were.
Yeah, Luke and Rick today were really proficient, and they picked things up really quickly, and that allowed us to actually do some more sort of bushcrafty things as well. So we talked about like splitting wood for firewood safely, different ways you can do that, how to use a bucksaw in different ways without anything to rest the piece on.
Good demonstration.
And then we did a tree plant guide walk, didn't we? We all decided we needed to stretch our legs, so we just went out the campsite, walked down the little green lane down the hill, and we just sort of talked about all the trees and plants that we saw, and me and you shared our
That's a really special kind
knowledge.
of moment,
That was a great half an hour little sort of tree plant ID sort of bit, and we talked about the uses of various different plants, how to tell trees apart from each other. So we looked at like beech and then hornbeam and compared the leaves and the barks and how to tell them apart. We looked at ash. We looked at like the leaves, the bark. We looked at young ash, old ash.
Yes.
We looked at Daudinia concentrica and how that can be an indicator of an ash tree.
And it tied all into the carving aspect of things as well, because we're not only talking about the identifiers of these things as
the uses as well.
Tree, but it's the uses, and then they can go out and proficiently work on those skills, can't they?
And it's like we found a yew tree and we found a cherry laurel to point out two examples of woods you might not want to carve, because of the toxins and the poisons in those species, that they wouldn't be good choices for carving because of that reason. It would do you some harm. So we then looked at willow, we looked at chestnut, we looked at birch and hazel and cherry, and the fact that they're good choices for carving woods, and the reasons for that.
Because we're mainly in a chestnut wood here, aren't we?
Yeah, it's a really old chestnut coppice, so it's a lovely place to be because the light comes through the trees and the smoke sort of looks all dappled. It's very aesthetic. It's nice.
It is. I have to say, the structure as you're walking towards it kind of has this, it looks like a big kind of mushroom in the woods. It's amazing. It's a great, like you say, great aesthetic, and that light coming through just illuminates the workspace. It really feels welcoming, and you always have a kettle on.
Always, and biscuits are
nice
always
touch.
there. Well, but partly that's to fuel my own caffeine needs, because I'm a fiend when it comes to coffee. I just can't get enough, you know.
No, it was nice to see everyone's little bit of creativity today as well. I mean, you were talking about the bark, and we got into discussions of, like, it just went off topic about containers.
Yeah, we talked about bark containers, didn't we?
After cutting up splitting a billet, one of the lads had a nice half of a log's worth of bark popped off their sweet chestnut beautifully. And I kind of looked at it and I thought, well, we were just mentioning baskets.
just talking about how you can use sweet chestnut to make containers, and lo and behold, in the next half an hour, Liam knocked up a perfect demonstration of a sweet chestnut little foraging basket.
It was nice, wasn't it?
Complete with the lid and everything. So,
and it's just another little one of those bushcrafty tasks that is nice to have the time and the kind of be in the environment to be switched on to do that, because sometimes you can go out and you kind of get sidetracked just camping, or you know, you just kind of I'm back out in the woods. And
our whole day has been sharing our love for the woods and sharing our knowledge, and I think that's super special, because you just get in the zone, and I think you surprise yourself with how much you know actually when you start sharing it with other people.
100%, yeah, because you can. It is what's it? Joe Price says the Dunning-Kruger
effect. Yeah, I noticed Paul was talking about that actually recently as well.
Really?
Yeah.
It's definitely becoming.
And it's so true,
you start
isn't
to
it?
pick up on it the more you realise that theory. You kind of start thinking, actually, we're all guilty of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you shouldn't be, because, like, you know, that was a very inclusive, very full-on day, and you know, to put that across in such a professional manner isn't always the easiest thing to do when you don't know everyone's skill level, and you don't know what experience people have had, so you've got to kind of cater for all things but keep it, like you said, in a
differentiation is the name of the game in modern education.
And in such a small time frame, because you could spend a whole day on axe work alone.
Yeah, you could, and it's like it's a balance really, because I know I want to cover things like sharpening, maintenance, tool selection.
Even your touches on was really in-depth.
Yeah, well, like Rick brought his old Mora, didn't he? That was it was pretty blunt, and it
quite dull.
It needed some work, didn't it? And then
which made it a great example.
I used it as the demo, and I sharpened his Mora up while they were watching, and I talked through my thinking on what I was doing the whole time, and like I didn't know how sharp I'd got it. I was like, I've done everything right. I've done how I teach sharpening. This will be the proof in the pudding, really, because it came to me blunt, and I've had 10 minutes playing with it on stones and strops. Let's see if my sharpening techniques actually work, which I know they do, because all my knives are sharp.
Paper, didn't it?
And then, just it was razor when I gave it back to him, so I think he was pretty keen to go back to his campsite, because both the lads were camping tonight, so
which is really nice.
They've gone back with some billets and probably still whittling away into the early hours tonight. So.
Yeah, I do hope so. Because they both put out really nice pieces as well.
They did. I was really impressed, and with a bit of sandpaper or a few more finishing cuts once the green billets have seasoned, and they'll look stunning when they're oiled. So, and you carved a really nice spoon as well, Liam. I really liked it. A little sort of salt scoop.
Yeah,
sort of thing that you made.
Going with the kind of open-ended bowl, wasn't I? Really?
Yeah.
So quite a shallow, open-ended bowl, just as a cross between a scoop and a spoon, like you said. And I was kind of inspired by your kind of asymmetric bowl design. So yeah, it's nice to play around and just, again, to do it in a relaxed atmosphere where you're surrounded by people, you can draw kind of inspiration off of people, talk about it, and that again encourages you. Because sometimes you can do things and you're whittling away on your own, and if you can't bounce off someone, it's not that it's hard, but it's a little bit, you might tend not to do it as often. So for me,
in a group, it's great.
It's great when you can bounce off of other people and you kind of got that little bit of motivation. Someone else is progressing, you're thinking, oh yeah,
I got to keep up.
Yeah, that's it. And we're on the saw, we're on the stop cuts now. I better get to my stop cuts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think my focus today really was to teach the safe use of the different tools. So I separated it out into. I separate the stages by the tool that you use. So I start off with saws, then I go axe, then you use the saws to do stop cuts again, back to the axe, then it's your straight knife, your Sloyd knife, and then it's your hook knife. You let it season, finish it with your straight knife or sandpaper, and that's that. It's a wrap.
Yeah, I think it's a nice builder, that one.
Yeah,
it takes you from, like you said, that foraging stage. It's a progressional builder.
It's a full sort of system that takes you from raw material to finished article, and I think the way it's taught, I think it does work. And it took me a long time when I was planning and risk assessing this course to think about how I wanted to teach it, because it made me think about my practice as well. Because in the olden days, I just carved a spoon, didn't really think about it. Like, I just carved a spoon, and they were all different, and they still are all different. But I didn't really have a system. I was just carving. It's just me doing my thing. So to actually make this course, I really had to sit down and sort of interrogate my own skill set to work out, how do I teach this?
Microanalyze your decision making when you're doing it. Which is, like, if it comes to you organically, can be like, it's like you said, quite a challenge, because you're suddenly putting it in a box. Yeah,
and I think actually
free thing,
it's actually improved my sort of consistency, because now I follow my system that I'm using as an educational tool, but it's I now have the structure in my own carving, because
you've written it in stone, and
it now is how I carve, and it really does help. And I've done like a good number of these courses now. I really feel comfortable teaching it, and I think that showed today. I think the confidence levels were where they should be, and I think the guys got a good course as a result. I'm quite proud of it.
Carving is such a good little skill to pass, because both Rick and Luke have got young families, and one would hope that they're going to then pass them skills on down to their
they both talked about them wanting to get more outdoorsy and learning these skills so that they could do that.
Exactly. And so
I think it's a great step, and this is a perfect place to do it. Like, they could bring their families here if they wanted, or pass the skills on that they've learned. But
it's a great campsite.
It was really nice just to get to know them as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great opportunity to just have a really involved day with you again, doing things that we love. I mean, it was, like I said again, it was an honour watching you teach people and just to be a part of it. Yeah,
well, this was the first time you've worked on a bushcraft course, isn't it? Because you've done some educational stuff with your bricklaying and your sort of masonry.
Yeah, 100%.
But this is the first time that you'd worked, sort of assisted on a bushcraft sort of course.
It was quite. It's nice to actually. It was different, but really nice to, like you say, remind yourself of actually the stuff I've learned over the years, and kind of then do that with someone who I'm confident with, and have a bit of freedom with it as well, which is nice. And, just some of the conversations we had organically moved onto a topic, and it's really nice to share things as well with other people. You can see how much it inspires them and how interested they are, and it reminds you of how interested you were back then. It kind of, you reflect
and how interested you still are.
Yeah,
I think the fact that we are teaching it shows the fact that it's got that staying power. But it's
still got grasp, hasn't it?
You see the fire in the eyes when something clicks. And
I think I remember when I first did that. You see them overcoming something, and you're like, damn, look how far I've come. And do you remember when I was struggling like that? And you're like, you want to pass on that feeling of, you'll get past that. It's all going to be fine.
And it was all done with like laughter and jokes and good banter, and it was a really good group, and it was a super relaxed one for me, because the last two I've done, I've had 5 or 6 people without having Liam here to give me a hand. So having an extra pair of eyes to keep an eye when the axe work's going on, to have someone help keep the kettle going and the fire going, and splitting wood up when it needs to be split up and stuff, so I can concentrate on like checking that what people are doing is safe, and it just really helped. So I want to say this publicly, but thank you so much for coming and giving me a hand.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciated it.
No, it's been kind of like a little dream of mine, I guess, to do things like this with you. And I know we've spoken it before. Imagine if we were running courses together, and I guess this is one of those first steps to document it.
Well, I mean, the dream is to have our own woodland, and you never know. So who knows?
And yeah, it's just been a relaxing day, and we finished off the evening with probably one of the nicest little treats that we've had on a course I've ever had on a course like this at all, and it was just really, really special. I'll let you explain that.
So, I was a bit naughty, and I might have purchased myself something to fulfil my love of pizza, because I found
excusable thing.
I found I was spending quite a lot of money on pizzas, because it's my favourite food. I just love it. So I was getting like a pizza a week from a pizza restaurant. So I was like, that's quickly adding up.
Yeah.
So I was like,
10 weeks, you're on 200 quid.
Yeah. So I was chatting to Emma, my fiance, and we were just like, let's just get a pizza oven, you know. So we found one that's portable that I can take to courses. I can have it when I go camping, if it's somewhere where I can have like somewhere that's not too far from the car to carry in a big pizza oven. But it is really quite portable. Kind of so for a base camp, I bought myself an Uni Caru 12 wood-fired pizza oven.
It is.
I bought myself
cool.
like a pizza peel to go with it. I've whittled like utensils, like a sauce spoon for spreading the sauce, and I stained the handle with milk paint to sort of really set it apart from other spoons, so you know that's the sauce spoon. I made like my own garlic sort of spread to make really nice garlic bread, brought that with me, and then I purchased some dough. So I tried it with homemade dough the other day, and it was brilliant, like absolutely delicious, proper Neapolitan style dough. But I really wanted to try sourdough today, so I actually bought some dough off an online pizza restaurant. We brought 4 dough balls down with us.
They were huge.
And they were huge. So we are literally sitting here stuffed, because we have eaten 4 pizzas between 3 of us. And they were just insane, weren't they?
They were so good. Honestly, that thing is impressive. When I say this, guys, it's probably about 2.5 foot long, maybe.
Yeah.
2.5 foot long. It stands about a foot, and half of that's legs.
Yeah.
And it's got a chimney that's maybe again 2 foot tall.
Yeah.
So really quite a compact pizza oven. Stainless steel. I assume it's like twin walled. It looks amazing.
And it's heavily insulated as well to keep the heat in.
Yeah, because it wasn't radiating loads of heat out of the body.
And it's got like a proper pizza stone in there.
Yeah,
to make
and
proper...
you basically start a little fire in the back of it, don't you? And then
and the flames like lick over the top.
It's great.
And so you get it heats the stone up, and the flames lick over the top to cook the top of the pizza, and you get a crispy base, perfectly melted cheese.
I kid you not, that is in less than 2 minutes.
Less than 2 minutes you got a finished pizza, and it's just so in there it's between 450 degrees and like 500 degrees.
That's incredible.
For optimum cooking temperature.
Wow.
So, and it's like a twig stove at the back. It's no bigger than a small sort of a bush box.
No, you're not putting in more fuel than that, are you?
No, it's like a firebox stove at the back, and yet you're cracking out temperatures of 500 degrees and cooking full 12-inch pizzas in 2 minutes.
I mean, yeah, you're putting it off the peel, you're sliding the pizza in there, closing the lid, or closing the door, sorry, opening it about 30 seconds later to turn it, and the bottom is like
crisp. Yeah.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
You don't get that in an oven after 20 minutes.
You don't. So, really cool bit of kit. I still want to experiment with it. I want to try doing some meat and stuff in it as well.
And I think that's the nice thing about like having base camp setups and course areas, and why I like overlanding, because it allows you to bring a little bit heavier kit with you.
It's a bit different, isn't it? It's like we do a lot of minimalist camping. We do a lot of lightweight stuff where we're carrying everything that we have on our backs, and we're doing the sort of snail shell sort of thing of carrying our house with us, and we try and like leave us unessentials at home. Like I don't normally bring my pillow unless I'm at a base camp, but I've got my pillow now. It's like
we go without
comfy.
Sometimes, don't we?
And like we just take what we need really, and make what we don't have.
Yes.
Whereas at a base camp like this, it's really nice to be able to do things like restaurant quality pizzas.
100%.
And it's fun. And it's like, yeah, sure, it's not bushcraft. We're not in the bush. We're in a campsite.
But we practice more skills here than a lot of people might have in a weekend of doing bushcraft.
Yeah, I mean, this campsite is full today. Like, I asked the owners how many people were camping here. It's a big site, a huge woodland, with lots of sites spread out, and there are like 200 plus people here tonight.
Yeah.
Yet
and you wouldn't think
there is no one in sight.
You wouldn't think there's even
You can't
another family.
hear a squeak from anyone, because the course area is so far separated from all the other campers that we could be here on our own.
And even the other camping areas, like you walk past there and they're dead quiet.
Yeah,
it's
calm, quiet.
It's not like you can hear things off in the distance.
No.
It's just...
You get the odd like bit of laughter as a kids playing in the woods, and that's just like nice. It's nice to see families enjoying time outside. But like as soon as night falls, it's dead quiet because everyone's so respectful of everybody else.
Yeah.
And you're kept at such a distance from other campers that you feel like you've got the woods to yourself.
Yeah, and that's where it's nice to just, like you say, bring all these different things, have time to experiment. I mean, like I've got my hammock set up, I've got a thick wool roll mat, I've got all sorts of different stuff, I've got my Bluetti charger here.
Yeah.
But they're all things that make stuff like this just a little bit more comfortable, and bushcraft isn't always about going out, like you say, minimal.
You don't have to challenge yourself every time. It's good to challenge yourself sometimes, but it's also good just to remember to have fun with it.
Yeah, that's what I think it's all about, and today has really reminded me about the fun you can have in that as well.
And we've done a lot of skills-based stuff all day. Why can't we have a few luxuries like a pizza oven and a pillow at the end of the day? It's like, we're not trying to prove anything. We're not trying to be, oh, look how tough I am, I camp outside. It's like, no, I'm at campsite with a pizza oven.
Exactly. Yeah, well, to be honest,
it's like,
if you hadn't have brought that, I'd have probably bought some other gadget or gizmo for cooking.
Yeah.
Like my Badori or something.
Yeah. Why not?
We'd been doing some other mad
Why
thing.
not? I mean, I've got a 10 litre kettle. Yeah. It's like, I'd never take that if I was just going in the woods for the day.
But that was perfect for today.
But we have had coffee on the go all day for anyone who wanted it.
And washing up, it's great.
And washing up, yeah.
We did noodles for lunch, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
So that just made it easy, because normally you get to lunchtime, you've got to think about getting a billy can out, waiting for that to boil.
Rolling boil all day. So
it's, like you say, it's not something you put on your backpack, is it?
No, and I don't view it like that. I'm carrying in boxes of course equipment anyway. Like the Forester helped me carry in my carving course equipment along with some stumps and some firewood for the course in the back of his Toyota Hilux. We loaded up the Hilux and drove it down here, and it's like that's fine. It's a course. It's for educating people.
Yes.
It's not about trying to prove something to yourself. There's plenty of time for that. We do that enough. Like, just enjoy it and share the love for the outdoors.
Yeah, and I can't advocate enough, checking out courses in, even if you're not local to Badgells Wood or down here where Tom runs these courses. Let's say you're in a different country. Look at courses that are available around you. Look at local forest schools for your children, look at local campsites that are similar to this, and if you are close to here, I mean, this is one of the cream of the crop.
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? And
it's great.
They're nice walks from it as well, so if you wanted to make a weekend out of it and stuff, it's highly worth your time. And it's
surprising how high you are here.
Yeah, you are. You're
quite in the hills, aren't you?
You are. When you go down to the bottom and climb back up, you realise, because it's super steep to get back up.
I'm yet to do that.
Yeah, next time I'll take you on that walk.
Yeah, I can't honestly say thank you enough, and it's been such a great day. The fire's just
so nice,
crumbling to this lovely. We're getting a bit entranced, aren't we?
I'm just staring at it. Yeah,
crumbling to this lovely coal of just red and orange and white right in the middle, and this, like we said, we've still got plenty of timber to burn, and we've actually been joined by Mike, Tom's dad. He's come down to say high for the evening. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Sitting here whittling a bit of wood.
Whittling away in the background.
Whittling away, and I think he just came for the pizzas, to be honest.
I don't blame him.
He brought them with
I brought them down.
He brought the pizza oven with him, so we've got to thank Dad for bringing that down. But yeah, it's always nice to have Dad along. We don't get enough camps together, so every time
nice.
Dad can join us, it's always a treat. So
Well, considering you weren't at the Bushcraft show last weekend, it's nice to have done this with you, and it's you know, because that's been a little pilgrimage. So I'm always used to seeing you around this time of year. You two
need it,
and your faces were sorely missed. But I know there was a few of you guys, listeners, who came over to me and kind of said, "Where's Tom?" And,
sorry, guys.
Yeah, I know I extended his apologies to you, but hopefully next year. But
yeah,
thank
fingers
you for
crossed.
having
I'd
me
love
here,
to.
because it's been a beautiful day.
It's been a lovely day. I've had so much fun. I just love teaching these courses, and doing it with you just made it even more fun. So thanks for coming, and thanks for being such a good mate and such a good assistant as well.
No, it's honestly been a pleasure. It's one of those memories, the first of many, I hope.
The first of many, definitely. Well, I'm already starting to think about next year's course dates. I've got one more this year.
You do, don't you?
I think it's the
give that another shout out.
6th of July, I believe. 8th of July.
Yes, it's in the middle of the world now.
8th of July. It's good that I know my dates, eh?
I'm pretty sure it's 8th of July.
8th of July, yes it is. Friday is the 7th and Saturday is the 8th. So yeah, it's Saturday the 8th of July. And we're running another course here at Badgells. I mean, I've travelled an hour and a half to get here.
Yes.
Dad's travelled the same. Liam, you've travelled.
I travelled a good
it would
be
and a half, wasn't it?
Yeah, it would normally be about 2 hours, but in bad traffic it gets bad.
Yeah. So I would say, if you're interested in learning carving, this is a really good starting point. And I'm not trying to plug my own course. I mean, this just covers the costs of all the kit and all the organisation and the time and petrol and stuff. Really, it's not about me making money. It's just sharing the love, really, and the fact that I enjoy getting a weekend in the woods. And so if you are interested, do think about joining us. We have that date in July, and then if you can't make that, we'll definitely be doing some next year. So stay tuned to Badgells, stay tuned to my Instagram. I'm sure Liam will be sharing it as well. And
the Wodesman will keep you updated, won't we?
Yeah, keep a lookout for future courses. And I can't wait for the next one. I absolutely love doing it. So it's almost a shame we don't have another group of people coming tomorrow to do it all over again. That would be really nice.
That would be a nice little bonus, wouldn't it? But yeah, unfortunately I'm not going to be able to make it on the next course because I'll be at the Wilderness.
You'll be at Wilderness. I'll be doing it back solo next time. That's all good.
So if any of you guys aren't coming here, which I really advise you do, because it's honestly been, like I said, a privilege to watch you teaching what you do. But if you're otherwise not engaged, have a look at the Wilderness Festival. You can have quite a lot of awesome traders, people there. Joe Price is coming along, so see what you think.
It's going to be amazing.
And if not, it will be on next year, like Tom's courses as well. So
absolutely.
Hopefully we'll see you at something in the future.
Yeah, there's lots of exciting stuff happening. There's lots of things in the work, lots of irons in the fire. We're constantly planning and plotting.
Lots of trips coming, hopefully. You know.
Yeah, and obviously life gets in the way sometimes, but we know that eventually we'll get a rendezvous and sort of camp out, and as soon as we do it, it'll be awesome. So that's the good thing about the Wodesman. It's like we're not going anywhere, even if we're quiet for a little while. We'll be back. Definitely.
And I guess on that note, thanks for listening, because it does mean the world for all the support. We've recently, Spotify has taken over the thing that we used to distribute through, and we get to see a few more analytics, so we're seeing some of the numbers of listeners.
It's good, isn't it?
It's just really, I don't know, nice to know that there's so many like-minded people out there, I guess.
Yeah, really good and humbling as well. People actually want to listen to us to bumble on about
have a little ramble
things.
But yeah, on that note, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thanks, dude. I've really appreciated having the help. And this was just a sort of course special. Today we will do future episodes on carving, where we cover more sort of skills-based subjects related to carving, I'm sure.
We just wanted to share the enthusiasm about the day, really.
But yeah, just to encourage you that actually if you've got a skill that you love, just pass it on to people. Like, even if it's family, if it's friends, if it's doing your own courses or whatever, but just pass the skills and then they don't get lost.
Yeah, that's it. And see what's going on around you, because if it's not Badgells or if it's not Tom, there'll be someone out there.
Yeah, there'll be someone out there that's passionate, that wants to share their love for whatever it is that they're interested in.
And encourage it and support it, because it's that's what's going to be remembered in the future, not all the gadgets and gizmos.
No, exactly. Like the pizza oven I'll remember the pizzas, but like that would just be one of the memories of a good day. Like the majority of the day is taken up with the memories of sharing skills and sharing jokes with like-minded people around a fire.
Good old-fashioned camaraderie, mate.
Indeed. Well, I think we only wanted a short little check-in with you guys for this episode. We've both been working hard today, so I think pretty much bedtime for both of us, isn't it?
Yeah, I reckon I'm going to get onto that awesome-looking bedroll and
slumber.
Yeah, just slumber away.
Finish Club Tropica and you'll be snoring.
I will indeed.
He'll be snoozing.
I'll be snoozing away, boy. Until next time, guys. Thank you so much for listening.
Cheers, guys, and thanks a lot.
The Wodesman podcast is proud to bring you a unique opportunity from the State Detective, whose mission is to source and offer their followers some of the best beef products on the market. With a passion for steak and World War II military history, the State Detective combines a love for a period in history that integrity, honesty and patriotism were all embodied. The State Detective embraces these great attitudes, and together we're giving a gentle nod to those who served by offering you, the listener, a promotional code for the State Detective. Use the code Wodesman20 to receive 10% off of your order, and also award 10% to help support the Bearded Fisherman, a UK-based charity helping those suffering with mental health issues. So whether you're in the market for beef jerky, biltong, incredible sauces, ration packs, tanks, warships or flyboys, and also love bushcraft, cooking, hunting or fishing, check out the State Detective. It's terribly British.